Raise Happy Children Intensive Week 2, The Power of Respect Mindset. Week 2 Action. Make your own plan for calm, or choose where to start using the 4-step formula for change. Outline for this week's session. Step-by-step plan to raise happy children. Power of Respect Mindset. Plan for calm. The 4-step formula for change. Step 1, preparation. Step 2, action. Step 3, expect, notice, appreciate. Step 4, let go. Step-by-step plan. Raise Happy Children helps you heal any disharmony between you and your child and helps you prevent disharmony from developing. By the end of the intensive, you know how to do both of these, heal and prevent. You know what is meant by the Master Action Focus, and you are doing it. The focus of Module 1 is the power of respect. This module takes 2 weeks. This helps you create the unshakable foundation that is the fail-safe for harmony. Here you begin to gather your respect tools, develop your respect skills, and discover and practice respect strategies. Module 1, the power of respect. This is the beginning and the end. Once you get this, you are well on your way. Power of Respect Mindset, plan for calm. The 4-step formula for change. Step 1, preparation. Step 2, action. Step 3, expect, notice, appreciate. Step 4, let go. Language of respect. Self-talk. Cue. Respected person. Refocus to a respectful thought. Daily respectful action. Acknowledge, expect, reward, celebrate your respectful actions. With Module 2, you learn a very powerful strategy, respect strategy. It has its roots in a strategy I learned from Dr. Thomas Gordon, the creator of Parent Effectiveness Training. By teaching this to very young children, instead of just to parents, I discovered its essence. 3-year-olds learned it quickly, without going through all of the steps. It was then that I understood the essence. Here you learn the steps and the essence, so you can use what works for you and your family. Module 2, Strategy and Conflict Now. Overview, setting up the meeting, brainstorm, eliminate, negotiate, act, evaluate, mental rehearsal and conflict, automatic shift, mediating. Mastering the 3rd module is one of the vital ways that we prevent creating disharmony in our families. Module 3, Model Parent. Understand you are a model. Remember you are a model. Be a good model. Decide what's important. New directions. Model it. Module 4 is an essential part of creating the foundation for harmony. You are an essential part of the whole, something mothers tend to disregard more than others. You cannot practice the power of respect without including self-respect as equally important as respecting your children. You cannot create harmony without it. Module 4, Self-Respect. Self-respect, helpful techniques for change. Practicing the skills of self-respect. Forgive self, forgive others. Module 5, Trusting Children. This module also takes 2 weeks. Module 5, Trusting Children. Steps toward trusting. Trusting equals your first choice. Transitional twos, the age of willpower. respectfully living with a 2-year-old. 2-year-old making choices, the legacy. What is the power of respect mindset? The foundation of this whole approach is based upon parents developing and maintaining the power of respect mindset. This is your fail-safe. You might ask, why respect? Why not love? As I explained, parents do love their children, even though too often the way they treat their children might seem like punishment to their children, so they don't feel loved. For example, parents usually do what they can to prevent their children from doing what the parent considers possibly harmful, overpowering their children. To their children, this does not feel loving. They don't feel loved. They feel that what they want doesn't matter. If this is frequently repeated, as it often is, you can imagine how frequently their child feels unimportant, disappointed, discouraged, maybe even rebellious. Respect changes this situation. When a parent is committed to being never less than respectful, a foundation is created that ensures that their child always feels loved. Never less than respectful means that you only treat your child in ways that feel respectful to them. Even when you're feeling frustrated, you are not disrespectful to your child. How do you do this? Deciding to develop the power of respect mindset is a great first step. The power of respect mindset is simply knowing that there must be a respectful solution and being determined, committed to finding it. There must be a way that everyone involved can get their needs met, and together you can discover it. 3-year-old children find this very easy to master once they discover that it's an option. Most likely, to some degree or another, this is going to involve adding new habits of thought and action and releasing habits that don't help you stay respectful. This new set of habits can be created by anyone just through the thoughts they choose to think, and then with their determination to think and act respectfully. And finally, you use your willpower to persevere until this new way of thinking and acting becomes a habit or second nature. Then you will find it difficult to think or behave otherwise. Your love for your children, wanting the best for them, is all the motivation you need to get started. Once you feel the pleasure of finding win-win solutions, you'll never want to stop. Developing the power of respect mindset. Just decide to start. Baby step, I'm willing to develop the power of respect mindset. Giant step, I am committed to developing a power of respect mindset. Create a plan. Do it. And like the baby conquering the ability to walk, don't give up. Conquer the ability. Watch for, expect changes. Let go of what does not help you stay respectful. Plan for calm. After this session, spend time focusing on your plan to calm down. This is an important power of respect skill to master, so the sooner you start, the better. I think you'll find this one skill helps improve many aspects of your life, especially your relationship with your children. You might even have time today to put your plan into action, at least go through it to experience it. A plan to calm down. Discover what helps you stay calm. Have a plan to help you stay as calm as possible. Take some slow, deep breaths Ground yourself. Center yourself. Do something that is satisfying for you. Read for a while. Listen to music. Take a shower. Meditate. Work out. Go work in your shop. Something that makes you feel better. Stressing is not going to move things along. It's best not to be around your children until you have calmed down and your emotions are no longer in control of you and your decisions. It's good if there was someone else who is happy to give attention to your children. Ask for help from your family, friends, neighbors. If someone cannot come, do your best to get some away time from your children, even in another room or outside. Remember, it may not be the way you like it right now, but you can make it better. The 4-step formula for change, taking the first step. Here is a 4-step formula that can help change any habit or pattern you wish. Step 1, start your process. For example, be open to change. The first step can be the tiniest of baby steps. You only have to turn in the direction you want to go. You only have to be willing and open to wanting to change. You don't have to know that you can change. You don't even have to decide to change. This openness, this little step, is big enough to start you moving in a new direction. Think of yourself at the center of a circle. A tiny turn, even 1 degree, even part of a degree, and you are now headed in a different direction along a different path. There's also a saying that reminds us that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with 1 step. This is the first step on your journey. I remember a translated Chinese proverb that says that if you keep walking in the same direction, you're bound to get where you're headed. An understanding that can help you decide what your first step is and can help speed up the process of your change is this. Anger is a secondary emotion. Deal with the primary emotion and the anger does not develop. After reading this in a book by Thomas Gordon, I tried it out in my own life. I needed to find out if this was true for me. Every time I was angry, and in those days I had lots of chances to discover whether this was true, I thought, was I feeling something before I was angry, an emotion such as frustration, sadness, embarrassment, hurt feelings? I discovered that I was every time. Then I began to become aware when I was feeling one of the primary emotions. I learned to deal with those emotions, and anger did not develop. This became a new mental habit. Eliminating anger helps in developing respect as your foundation. Second step, take action. For example, practice cooperation. Now you are ready. One of the most important ways to continue on the path you've begun to walk on is to take action. Do something concrete, however small, that moves you toward your goal. Keep doing concrete actions, moving you toward your goal every day. You can write yourself a note to put on the refrigerator reminding you of your new goal. I am respectful toward my children. I choose to cooperate with them. Discover your cue. Your cue is what you experience physically that tells you that you are getting upset. Tightness in your neck, shoulders, or stomach, beginning to clench your fists. Write out a plan of action such as what I'm going to do when I start to feel tense, when I feel my cue, instead of yelling at my children. Tell your children what you have learned about being respectful. Ask for their help in negotiations and in reminding you, because you might forget at first. Decide to apologize to your children every time you are not respectful to them, and ask them what you can do to make amends. Make an arrangement with someone else who is making the same change to be your partner. Either of you can call the other for support when you need help to stay respectful. Start a journal to record your progress. Make a reward plan for every time you act respectfully. One of the most powerful things you can do is to plant seed thoughts and nourish them until they form into beliefs. For example, you may choose to plant the following seed thought: I am willing to be respectful. Just follow the directions for using affirmations and watch this seed thought grow into a belief. Affirmations, thoughts of how you would like it to be, can be quite helpful, as can the following instructions and assumptions. It's important to be as precise as possible, to make your statements positive, I am, rather than negative, I am not, and to phrase your affirmations in the present tense. It may not feel logical since you may not yet believe what you are saying. However, these are instructions to the subconscious mind. If you use the future tense, you are picturing your goal in the future, so it remains out of reach beyond your experience. A simple affirmation such as, I'm willing to change the way I treat my children, can plant a seed that can help you make all of the changes you wish to make. It's good to repeat the affirmations to yourself as often as you think of it. Some people say their affirmations in front of a mirror. Some write them down. Some record them and listen to the recording. But if these methods do not suit you, it's enough to remember to say it soundlessly and eventually to hear it repeated within you. When what you are affirming becomes an actuality, then the affirmation has served its purpose. You can change your affirmations as more helpful ones occur to you. Think the thoughts that you wish were true. Tell yourself as often as you feel the need or as often as you remember, I treat my children respectfully. These thoughts plant the seed and help it germinate. Another helpful technique for guided change that goes well with affirmations is called visualization. This is using your imagination to help create what you want. When you think of interacting with your children, imagine it being exactly the way you want it to be. It helps to make these images as vivid and detailed as possible. Third step, nourish and celebrate the changes. Nurture the process. For example, recognize and appreciate your changes. Now watch your development and transformation. Notice and appreciate the times you treat your children respectfully, when you let people know what you need, when you help someone have a good experience, the times that you remember that you want to behave respectfully. These experiences are like young plants peeping through the earth. As Louise Hay points out in her book, You Can Heal Your Life, the tendency is to discount these little beginning changes, to consider them worthless. She points out that you do not do this in a garden when you wait and watch for the tiny sprouts to push above the earth. The changes you are making also deserve your patient, eager anticipation and celebration. Watching for opportunities to practice your new skills encourages their appearance by keeping respectful interaction in your awareness. What you hold in your thoughts, positive or negative, is reflected in your life. When you buy a new boat, suddenly the world is filled with boats. in magazines, on television, through friends, on the highway, and of course on the water. When you are determined to be respectful, you find yourself practicing respectful interaction more and more. You remember it more frequently. You catch yourself doing just what you want to do. The 1,000-mile journey is completed step by step. It is completed with perseverance. When you decide to take on any long-term task, knitting a sweater, growing a garden, building a house, if you persevere, eventually, most likely, you complete the task. Some days you may not work on it at all. Some days you may only be able to work on it briefly. Other days you may work on it all day. It takes determination. When you have completed this task, respectful interaction has become a part of you, and you find it difficult to behave otherwise. I know. I have made this journey. Fourth step, letting go. Be willing to let go of what you no longer need. Unless you have come to it naturally, becoming skilled at respectful parenting takes self-searching, dedication, and openness to changing some of your patterns of belief, thought, and action. Change is a natural process. Because you do change, it's very likely that you do not believe all that you did when you were 11 or 5. Besides affirming the positive desired changes, it's important to be open and willing to let go of beliefs that no longer suit you. If you watch your thoughts and what you say to others about children, you can get a clear picture of your present belief system relating to children. As you become aware of the beliefs that get in the way of your changes, you can affirm your willingness to let go of these beliefs. Yes, I am willing to let go of my belief that Taylor is a holy terror. When you find yourself thinking or saying one of these beliefs that you have decided to let go of, you can say or think, I used to think that Taylor was a holy terror, but now I believe that he is trying to do his best, but he gets easily frustrated. Then instead of yelling at him, you can say, I see that you are having some trouble. Would you like me to help you? When your 3-year-old son brings in the one red rose from the bush and hands it to you with joy on his face, remember that you want to understand things from his point of view also. You can tell him that you think it is beautiful and ask why he picked it. Expect that he had a good reason. Let these old beliefs remind you of your newly chosen ways of acting, greatly speeding up your pace of substituting one form of behavior for another. You are using the old weeds as mulch to help the new growth. I am willing to practice communicating, cooperating, and negotiating to get what I want. This affirmation can help create the cooperative solution. Thoughts worth thinking. Affirmations. I am willing to change. I remember to treat my children respectfully. I cooperate with my children. I forgive my children. I am proud of myself. I am proud of my children. I am polite to my children. I am a good example to my children.